And hello again, guys. Just a short video today on a very important topic. And, everybody talks about love, and love is the answer. And, we just went through the season of wishing for peace and goodwill. And every year we go through that season, and every year it's the same. Nothing ever changes. And, it just got me thinking about love. The answer is love. Love conquers all. Love trumps hate, all of that stuff. But so many people don't know how to access love and how to utilize love. Most people don't know how to receive love or even give love. And so I thought, what does all of this have to do with our ascension process? And because I'm a heart math coach, I just thought today it'd be really good, interesting to talk about the heart. There's so many of us that it's like our planet. There are two important things to this ascension, and one of them is our planet, and the other one is our heart. And did you know that our heart has electromagnetic field that is 5,000 times stronger than the brain? But you didn't know that. So, it is our heart that is talking to our brain. And if we're in a state of love or a state of able to receive or give love, we are resilient to the outside stressors. We're able to let the daily challenges just kind of roll over us. That means we are in heart coherence. There's a lot of people out there in the world today that are heart coherent. And the number one person that I can come up with right off the top of my head is Greg Braden. Those of you who've listened to Greg Braden and know Greg Braden, he is the type of person that you just want to go knock on his door and sit down and just have a really calm, quiet cup of tea with, and just discuss love and heart coherence and what this has to do with the ascension process. Dr. Joe Dispenza is another one. And these people don't channel anything. These people are coming straight from the heart. And I'm sure many of you can think of other people who, when you listen to them, you just feel their electromagnetic heart field. You just feel, you're just drawn into them. You're not repelled. You're not going, I don't think what they're saying, this doesn't make any sense, but you're just drawn into these people. And the words that come out of their mouths are just, you can tell that they're speaking to whoever is in front of them at that moment. I know I heard Greg Braden, excuse me. I heard Greg Braden talk one day, and he was saying that he has slides that he sometimes uses, but he just doesn't know who his audience is, and he just doesn't know the energy of the audience until he steps out on the stage. So he leaves his talk open. So he never has a talk that is, all written down, and he's at the podium and he's reading from his notes. He's talking from the heart. And he can do that because he's in a state of heart coherence. And that is something that the world is lacking. And we are so programmed to look at our heart as nothing but a muscle that pumps blood. And it's so much more than that. Our heart is our intuitive center. And I think you've heard me say this before, that's, our heart center is our power center. And of course, it's about the love, and it's our emotions. And, but Heart Math has put science behind this. They've done, they've done the technology. They've done the the experiments. They've actually put science behind this. So when you're in a state of coherence, it inhibits better brain function. And so your heart and your brain are in sync, and they're not fighting each other. And your intuition is broader and more expansive and easily accessed. So if you have to make a spur of the moment decision, it's there. It's right there because you are connected to that heart first, and it's the heart that is telling the brain, okay, you know. And you know, they've done a study with the heart, and they put people in front of put a bunch of people in front of computers, and it was like flashcards, and they would sit there and they would wait for a picture to come up, and the person didn't know if the picture was going to be something really scary or horrific, or if something was going to be a very loving, peaceful picture. And they hooked them up to their technology, the monitors, and the heart knew before the brain or that person saw the picture what the next picture was going to be. The heart reacted before that picture was showing up on the screen. If it was a horrible car accident with, you know, someone dead laying on the road, the heart reacted accordingly before that picture showed up. So that is proof in itself right there. You really need not go any further to know how our heart is our center. Our heart is so intuitive, it knows before we even know. And I think that's why so many animals, you know, we talk about, you know, that tsunami back in, what was it, 2005. And, you know, they were saying how the animals were just flocking from the shorelines, the elephants, and, you know, they were all leaving and flocking in, and it's because they're still in a state of heart coherence. They are in a state of heart coherence, and they're able to communicate with this planet. And so their heart connection to the planet was telling them before it even happened what was going on. Maybe they really didn't even know exactly what was going to happen, but they knew that they had to take safety. And that's something that most of us have lost. And, you know, so if our, I just heard something go off. All electronics in my house. Hope I shut my refrigerator door. But if the electromagnetic field of our heart is so strong that it can be felt, you know, 300 feet away, or, you know, whatever it might be, that's what technology is saying. But they know that, you know, our heart field is actually detected much further than that. If we all walked around with coherence and strong and start a very strong electromagnetic field, if everybody was like this, and we were communicating with our planet, we could transcend what we're living in right now. We could transcend the negative and the darkness that is there now and turn it into global harmony. But that's something that they don't want us to know about. And this is so easy to do. We all have the ability to do this, but programming has kept us from knowing this and keeps us from doing this. It wants to keep us stressed. And when we're stressed, you know, our energy battery is draining. And when we're drained, you know, we don't have the energy to make correct decisions. You know, we procrastinate, and if we do have to make a big decision, it's sometimes not right. Sometimes we do make huge mistakes. But you know, their technology has just shown the difference between a coherent heart rate variable from someone who is non-coherent. And, you know, the heart rate that is in coherence, it's just like this. And so you can just imagine what the heart rate variable would be for someone who is not in coherence. And so I just, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I wanted to say that, for us to ascend, they're waiting for us to really return to our heart coherence. And because when you're in coherent state, you're in an optimal functioning state. And so that means you're able to regulate your energy drains, you're able to regulate your emotions. And this is key, people. We need to regulate and monitor our emotions. And we do this through working with a coherent heart. And it is like, okay, you want to be responsible for what you're feeding the field, the electromagnetic field. If there's this great big field out there and we're all patched in and part of it, we all have to start taking responsibility for what we are contributing. Are we contributing a coherent heart rate? Are we sending out positivity? Are we negative? The glass is always half empty. So it comes down to really watching what we're feeding the field, and also what we're feeding around us. The attachments, everybody said that energy vampires, everything that's feeding off of our energy. And what do they like to feed off of? Of course, they like to feed off of the dark energies, the lower vibration energies. So when we're at a lower vibe, they're just sucking all our energy, and it's making us go deeper and deeper and deeper. We're deeper in depression. We have less energy. We cannot make decisions. We don't sleep. We are overreactive. We cannot control our emotions. We just have no self-regulation. And so we need to learn how to do that, and really watch, because they're also waiting for us to control our emotions and our thoughts. Because once we learn to control our emotions and our thoughts, we are able to manifest a lot faster. Because right now, if we are not in a coherent heart state and we're not working from the heart center, we are just, it's so easy for us to, say somebody cuts us off, we're going down the road, and right away you think, well, I hope that person gets in an accident. And then, the higher we get up, the faster we can manifest something like that. So that's why we haven't really moved in as far as manifesting, because we cannot control those dark thoughts. Because if we can manifest the good thoughts fast, well, then we're going to be able to manifest the dark thoughts fast. I mean, think about it. Think about some of the thoughts, the dark thoughts you've had out there. And what would you have done if they would have just been instantaneously manifested? So this is something that we really, really need to work on. And this is something that the higher beings, are really trying to talk to us about. We really need to start self-regulating. We need to self-regulate our thoughts, and in turn self-regulate our heart, what we're adding to the heart field. And so it's all about our emotions and how we manage our emotions. And the more we are in coherence, the easier it is to manage our emotions. And before you know it, we are walking around like Greg Braden. I mean, things just fall, the negative things just fall away. They don't matter anymore. And we're just, it's like I say, it's like, yeah, I'm walking around like Gandhi, and I think that's something we all need to strive for, because if we all can do this, we're transmitting that to our planet. And when we transmit that to Gaia, she is more inclined to want to listen to us. And, you know, because she's hurting. You know, those people that say, oh, God can take care of herself, I'm sorry, I don't get that. I don't believe with that. I don't believe that. Because here we are still. Here we are still. And, you know, we see more and more global, you know, the weather and all that. And yeah, I know everybody has different justifications for that, but ultimately, if we were in a better state of coherence and we were talking to our planet, she would listen to us more, and it would be a lot better planet. And because so many of us are trying to ascend without these two fundamentals, heart coherence and thought regulation. And so when you're in heart coherence, the bad thoughts just don't come anymore. You know, we don't have to be reactive to that person. We don't have to have the last word. We don't have to be intolerant to someone else's beliefs. And so, you know, that's just one of the things I wanted to touch on today, and how very, very important it is for us to learn how to be heart coherent. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk, you know, Heart Math Institute, you can listen to a lot of videos. There's a lot of mentors out there. And, you know, I know so many people who do so many healing modalities, and the very, very smart ones are the ones that have a lot of different tools in their toolbox. Because when you're working with a heart math coach, they are already working in heart coherence, which means their intuition has been developed. So when they're working with you, it's not that they're reading from the script. They are tuned into you and what you need personally. So they can gear their sessions around what they're intuitively picking up from the person sitting in front of them. You know, so it's not like they're, okay, I was taught this in college and I have to go by the script and I can't step outside of the boundaries. And, you know, a lot of us healers, we have more than just one tool in our toolbox. A lot of us started with Reiki like I did, and a lot of us went into herbs like I did, and a lot of us went into crystals like I did, and a lot of us learned about the earth-based religions. And so, you know, we just have a lot more tools. And so, you know, we're able to step outside the bounds and help each person come into coherence the way that that person personally needs it done. And so, you know, it's really cool when you're working with someone. I was working with someone this week, and it was just fascinating because she just couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my mouth, because everything pertained to what she needed. And it was not the words that she wanted to hear, but it was words that made her turn around her thinking, because she had got stuck in her thought process and the way she was thinking about how she needed to get herself out of a certain predicament. And it was just really cool to be able to help her and help her figure it out for herself, because basically that's what she was doing. She was figuring it out for herself with my guidance. And that's what it's all about. We're not supposed to heal you. We're supposed to help you find a way to heal yourself. So it was really cool to watch that unfold. And but really, we really forsake how important our heart center is. I can't stress this enough, people. And it's something that we can all easily do, and it's something that we've all forgotten how to do. And so many of us have hardened hearts, and so many of us who say we're light workers, we're on a plateau. A lot of us are stuck. We're on a plateau. We just can't seem to get any higher, any further. And that they don't want to admit to that. But it's because they're missing this one important part. And, you know, and a lot of them say, you know, oh yeah, I do know that. I do know that. But if you ask them, well, how do you do this? What is your process? How are you? A lot of them will say, well, I meditate 20 hours a day or whatever. And actually, meditation is great. I'm not cutting meditation at all, but meditation is really good in the moment. So while you're in meditation, it's really great and wonderful, but it's really hard. Meditation doesn't help you become resilient to what's out there. And so once you leave your meditation room and go out in the world, it's very hard for you to be resilient to that outside energies, the frequencies that want to keep dragging you down. You have to keep going back to your meditation room. And but no, meditation does have its place. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I'm saying that there's just more than one tool out there. And no, I'm not tooting my own horn either. But it's just fascinating, the ahas and the leaps and bounds that I've made myself in, because I've had my issues, and I was always looking for ways. And so I'm just telling you, people, really, heart coherence. It's time for all of us now to get into heart coherence. And if we want to see this event come, if we want to ascend, if we want to, you know, and it is a personal journey. We're all, you know, on our own when it comes, but if we all want to get, you know, in the same ballpark, instead of all of us out there, you know, getting heart coherence is, I mean, it is really one of the huge answers. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. What is it? What is today? Oh, it's January 18th. And so I know we're getting close to, look at that right here. I know we're getting close to that big blood moon, supermoon eclipse that's coming. And so I think a lot of us, when that happens, we are going to be looking for something. I'm missing something. There's something that I need to start doing, because I really want to move forward now. I'm ready to move forward now, but it's like I'm missing something. And listen to Greg Brighton, guys, when he talks about the heart. This man knows what he's talking about. So anyways, or contact me, you know. So let's get in the heart, people. Let's stop saying it. Let's doing it. Let's start doing it, and let's start feeling it. And then when we start feeling it, we need to send it out. And so anyways, we'll talk to you soon. All right.